How to make 15K cold calling the FSBO list. Guys, my name is Rick Ginn. In today's video, I'm going to show you the attributes to find these types of sellers that will actually do a wholesale deal. I'm going to walk through the mentality of a FSBO seller, and if you stay to the end, I'll give you the exact blueprint of how to attack this list and pocket 15K. But before I get into it, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with someone that you think would benefit from getting the truth on wholesaling. So we're talking about attacking the FSBO list. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've gone through this list before, and full disclosure, I've gotten deals off of it, but it frustrated me because I used the wrong tactic. Now, my son Zach, on the other hand, fully attacked the FSBO list specifically on Zillow and made a killing. And I learned a thing or two by watching a younger generation attack this list. And I gotta be honest with you, I did it the old school way, and I want to teach you the lessons learned and how you can easily attack this list to easily pocket 15K. If you want it, it's up to you. So FSBO stands for for sale by owner, which means it is 100% the owner's control. They set the price, they set the pictures, they set everything, the terms, and so they're 100% in charge. You see, when something's listed on the market like MLS, sometimes it's the owner, sometimes it's the realtor, sometimes it's complete the realtor, the owner trusts them. So FSBO, we clearly understand that the terms, the price, everything is set by the owner. It's important to know that. Now, you know, I always attack any type of wholesale deal with my simple acronym, ODN. O stands for off market, D stands for direct to seller, N stands for needs to sell. Now, if I look at the avatar of the three critical components to put a great wholesale deal together, we already got a strike on the first one. So a FSBO, is it on market or off market? In my opinion, it is on market. Now, it's not quite MLS, but we go to the next one, which is D, which means direct to seller, and we check that box perfectly. So we already hit one out of the three criteria. Obviously, O and off market, you're not really going to get that, which leads us to the third and final part, which is the N, which stands for needs to sell. Rick, what are you talking about? I look for people who need to sell versus people who want to sell. And this is going to be the one distinguishing feature that you're going to have to figure out when dealing with FSBO sellers. You see, most FSBO sellers just want to sell. They have a wish list for a price, and until something changes and they need to sell, they're just going to hold tight on their price. FSBOs are known for this. A lot of times, their sole focus is on the price. So if we go back to ODN, off market, no, we're not going to get that one. Direct to seller, we got that one. So it is imperative you find a way to see if they need to sell the house versus want to sell the house. Rick, how do I know the difference? It's simple. Just ask. Just go through the qualifying questions and see what their motivation is. And if they're like, I'm not going to sell it unless I get $1 million, I already know. I'm not going to waste my time with them. If the property's worth $225,000, they're asking $600,000, $800,000, or even $1 million, I already know by their words and their pricing that they just want to sell. But here's the good news. Eventually something will shift. I have a strong belief people put their house on the market for one of two reasons. They either put it on there because it's a wish list, and if somebody offers me $1 million, I'll sell it. Or they actually truly want to sell the house. So it's like a Facebook or an Instagram posting. You don't even know what the truth is. So I'm not against attacking the FSBO list, but you're going to have to systematically go through it, and you're going to have to weed out the ones who want to sell and get rid of them and just lock in the ones that need to sell. So how do we do that? Well, before we get into that, let's talk about the mentality of a FSBO owner, because God, I know this one by heart, and you've probably experienced some of this. Let me walk you through it. They get excited about putting their property on the market because Jane, the next door realtor, listed it for $800,000, and they think they can get $895,000. Bottom line is, they think they're sitting on a pot of gold, no matter what. It doesn't matter if interest rates are high for mortgage rates. It doesn't matter if there's plenty of inventory flooding the market. My house is gold. It's my house. It's worth $1 million. You see, this is the seller's perceived value. And the problem with that, it is the seller's perceived value because they're personally biased. Maybe they live in it. Maybe they put so much money into it, and they don't understand you don't get every dime you put back in the house. In fact, I'll even argue with you, most houses people personally live in is not their best investment. It's just the one that disciplined them to make them the most money. See, if I buy a house for $300,000 and sell it for $600,000, tell myself I made $300,000, I'm lying to myself. I had a ton of cost. I paid so much money on mortgage, insurance, property tax, utilities, Home Depot. it's endless. In fact, if a seller breaks even on their personal home, they did a great job. This lie in America where my house just keeps going up and up in value, the reality is you have to maintain the asset. And unless the asset pays you, it's costing you money. If you add up all those expenses, you might be shocked about how little money you make. But let's get back to the motivated seller. In this case, the FSBO, which I don't know if there's really motivation. You see, I call it the FSBO cycle. And I'm going to show it to you visually. I don't have a whiteboard in front of me. But the idea is when they list, if I have a chart like this, and this side represents the excitement meter, and then this side represents the time going on, as time progresses, that excitement starts here and it stays here about 30 days, maybe even 60, right about 90, man. It starts to just plummet. You know why? Because they get the crap beat out of them. Because their perceived value got met with reality. And sellers come in and go, man, your pool's green, there's stains on the ceiling, the floor is uneven, the air's not working. Why on earth would I pay you full price for this house? And so that excitement level wanes. And after a while, you'll see this at FSBOs, they'll literally just stop answering the phone because they can't take the abuse. What started out as I'm going to make $1 million eventually wind up down to reality. And then what happens is there's only two things that can change a seller's mind. Now, number one, it is not this magical sales script. And I don't care what kind of sales training you got. If somebody wants to sell their house and you want to buy it for a wholesale value, it's just not going to work. Ask me how I know. I've been doing this 23 years. There's no way to make people sell you a house. Oh, Rick, I'm an incredible salesman. That's fine. Sell it. Go be a realtor. If you want to be a realtor, knock yourself out because you're only going to get a slight discount. The only two things that changes the FSBO's mind is time. Time is number one. And circumstance. Things happen in their life and they go, we need to move this along a little bit faster. Maybe the health of a family member, or maybe a loss of a job. Maybe the house is in foreclosure. Remember, FSBO people put their best foot forward first. And I'm under the impression that everybody puts house on the market. They truly want to get rid of it. And you're going to have to filter the ones that just want to sell and want $1 million. And that's the hardest part about the FSBO list. So there's only two factors that really screw up a FSBO. Number one, it's overpriced. Seller's delusional. And the only thing that's going to fix that is time and circumstance. And the other one is the house is not up to par. They really didn't put any money into it or it's just outdated. And so if I have an overpriced home and an outdated fixer-upper, these FSBOs do what? They sit on the market forever. So I'm just telling you, I've never done good just calling a FSBO day one of the listing and got a smoking wholesale deal. In fact, I avoid those like the plague. And I want you to do the exact same thing. So here's what I want you to look for on a FSBO. I don't care if it's Zillow or homebuyers.com, whatever it is. You have to look for some key elements. Number one, time on market. I don't like to mess with anything under 90 days. Why? Because if it's a properly priced property and it's in good shape, it's most likely going to sell or be listed with a realtor. So why waste all my energy when those have a 98% failure ratio? I just reverse hack it. If it's before 90 days and it sells, I don't want anything to do with it. It goes on the market the first day. Do you really think they want to hear from a wholesaler the first day? They don't. We have to look for clues. In fact, I wouldn't look at it till 90 days, and I really prefer 180 days. After 180 days in the market, you've got to admit, either that thing's a piece of junk or it's overpriced or a combo of both. We can't blame the realtor. We can't blame anybody else. And after 90 to 180 days, that seller gets so much negative feedback, they start to doubt themselves on what they listed it for. And at some point, they'll convert from want to sell to needs to sell. So if I deal with anyone before 90 days, I know most of those people are once. After 90 days, they have a potential to go to need. And after 180 days, I almost guarantee they need to sell. They just need to have like a coming to Jesus meeting to find the right price to get that property moved. And guys, have you ever sold something and you just missed the price? If you've ever underpriced it, it sells overnight. And if you overprice it, it sits on the market for a long time. Real estate's no different. In fact, I let the market beat up the FSBOs. So when I come in, I want to be the savior. The second factor in this I want you to look for is multiple price reductions. Rick, what do you mean by multiple? 2. One's not enough for me. 2 shows motivation. Like, man, I really want to get this sold. 1 price reduction is not really motivating. If I say 3, 4, and 5, I know they want to get it sold. They just don't know what the dang thing's worth. And remember, our job is to help sellers get out of their own way. So I want to reiterate again. I'm looking for 90 to 180 day listings so they get a little bit stale and the market beats them up. Then I want to look for listings that have multiple price reductions. Now, I'm going to add a third one if you can. In the perfect world, these homes are vacant. Why? Because there's no income coming in. They're not living in the house. They want to get rid of it. It's a liability. If you can strike vacant 90 to 180 days plus with multiple price reductions, this is the list I'm going to target. Now, the last aspect you have to understand when attacking this list for FSBOs, it's a volume game, guys. guys, you are not going to get deals off 20, 30 leads. Hundreds, if not thousands. And use the same criteria I just gave you. Days on market, 90 days plus, preferably 180. They're vacant, if possible, and multiple price reductions. You're going to need volume. So initially, you have to go through the process. Now, if you do a multi-line dialer, you do it by hand, or you do SMS, however you want to do it, we're talking specifically about cold calling volume. So if I call 100 people, I'm probably going to have to screen about 85 of them right off the bat. And when you get the one that wants to talk to you and work with you, you've got to switch hats and make sure you go into the qualification process. Do not skip this. This is where you're going to deep dive and find out if they're truly motivated to sell the price. How do I do that? Go over to freewholesaling.com. We teach you MCTP, motivation, condition, timeline, and price. And timeline will be one of the key factors to determine if you're going to get a great deal, because it will tell you how motivated they are to sell. You see, if I go from want to need, I put volume in there, and then I do the qualification, anybody can attack the FSBO list. The problem is most of you attack it fresh markets, you treat it like a realtor, and you want to know why you don't get wholesale deals. I never said this is going to be easy. This is a strategy if you have little to no money and you want to get in reps and repetition. I promise you, you can get a deal this way. The question is, will you actually follow through and do it? Are you willing to make 5, 7, 10, 15,000 cold calls to this list? If you screen the list the exact way I told you, you have a great shot. You won't waste your time. If you want to be super busy, don't screen anyone, and basically you're training to become a realtor. I don't train that method. Remember, at the end of the day, our job is to help sellers get out of their own way. A lot of people list FSBOs because they're cheap, they don't trust realtors, or they think their house is worth $1 million. You have to get through that initial screening process, and that's the difficult part. I believe every seller that puts a property on the market, they want to sell it. Our job is to find the ones that need to sell it. How do we do it? We use the criteria filters I shared with you in this video. We do a tremendous amount of volume, and then our job is to help the seller get out of the way. If I have a property that's run down and it's been on the market 6, 7, 8 months, those sellers are ready to cut a deal. You just have to earn their trust, and you have to help them solve a problem because they've already gotten beat up by the market. Your job is to save them. And if you'll attack cold calls on FSBOs in this pattern, it's not hard at all to make 15K. I promise you, if you will stick to the strategy, you will find it. You're going to have to go through tremendous volume. So don't just use Zillow, use all the sites, realtor.com, all of them. Any you can get free, scrape it up, and then run like crazy. And guys, if you have an X Leads account, you can skip trace up to 25,000 leads with our basic service at $97 a month. Nobody else can touch it. It will increase your speed, but if you don't have the money, get through, make the calls. You have to be consistent in this. So guys, I don't have any problems cold calling. If you want to do the FSBO list, just make sure you use the steps I share with you in this video. Help these sellers get out of the way, help them solve a problem, and be the savior at the end. So guys, if you're going to use this technique, let me know in the comments. And as usual, if you got value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this video to someone that you think would benefit from learning wholesaling. Guys, this is Rick Ginn. I'll see you in the next video.